And on behalf of IIC Hnbgu, firstly welcome our honorable vice chancellor, Professor Inaugural. Our chief guest, Professor S.P. Singh, former vice chancellor of IIC Hnbgu. Guest speaker, Professor S.P. Kala, President, Institute of Innovation Cell, Hnbgu, Professor Abhidyani. Our guest, Mrs. Hnbgu, Himalayan folk singer, Mr. Pavan Kotyal, tourism professional, Mr. Kripal Singh Bhagat, startup alumni entrepreneur. And last but not least, I would also delighted to welcome our organizing team members who are actively and continuously working on IIC. Startup alumni entrepreneur, convener IIC. I would also delighted to welcome Hiralal Yadav, Dr. Vidi Kumar Maurya, Dr. Steve Kumar Chaturvedi, Dr. Student members of IIC, Nikhil, Lakshya Sanjeev Kumar, Rishta Singh, Hansal Goli, Sanjeev Singh Rawat, Akshita, Surendra Khera, and all the internal and external committee members of IIC Hnbgu. Distinguished guests, dignitaries, dear colleagues, members of the year, and dear participants. We are truly delighted to welcome you all in our session of IIC Hnbgu Online Summer Internship Program 2021. The main purpose and objective of this organizing this program is to encourage and engage our students, research scholars, and the faculty members towards Atmanirbhar Bharat Vocal for Local and to inculcate creativity and innovation amongst them in this COVID-19 pandemic. So for this, IIC Hnbgu received more than 567 applications across different universities, colleges, and institutions for the summer internship program, in which total 201 students, research scholars, and faculties has selected from 32 faculties of 28 disciplines of Hnbgu. So that to learn and share the innovative ideas and research, and also to develop a social innovation club. The duration of internship would be 4 to 8 weeks, which will be start sharply from 1st June to July 26, 2021. The participant has been selected based on their academic performance and the write-up they have submitted. Details of the selected interns of the summer internship program is already uploaded on the university website. So now before we move further, I would just like to review the functionality of the program, this important official engagement. So she won't be able to grace the occasion till last. Therefore, the program will be in 2 sessions. The first session will be address of our chief guest and Honorable Vice Chancellor. And the second session will be still continue for invited talk by our guest speaker, which will be addressed by Mr. Mahipal Singh Rawat, Mrs. Hnbgu ma'am, and Mr. Pavan Kumar Kotyal. So now without taking much time, I cordially invite Professor Atul Dhyani, President Institute of Innovation Cell, Hnbgu, for a welcome address. Over to you, sir.
Okay, thank you, Sweta. So good morning to all of you. On behalf of IIC Hnbgu, I formally welcome you all to this 8-week online internship program. I find immense pleasure to welcome our distinguished chief guest, Professor S.P. Singh Sahab, FNE, a former Vice Chancellor of Hnbgu University. He is a renowned academician who had himself served as a teacher for more than 40 years. Sir, having you in the program makes a huge difference. We are really thankful to you for taking the time out of your busy schedule. Once again, thank you very much, sir. I am profoundly delighted to take an opportunity to extend a warm welcome to our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Annapurna Nautiyalji. Madam, on behalf of IIC, I hereby express my deep sense of gratitude for all the efforts you make to help us grow from day one. It's really admirable how you always providing a unique perspective. Madam, you are a true leader and we feel blessed to have you as a leader. It is a great pleasure for me to introduce our next speaker, Professor S.P. Kalaji, a well-known personality, having spent almost his entire career in teaching, mentored many students and has set an extraordinary, yes, you can example for them. In continuation, I welcome Mr. Mahipal Singh Rawat ji, Secretary of our Alumni Association and an active member of IIC. His passionate dedication to promoting Alumni Association is really inspiring. I am also happy to welcome and acknowledge the contribution of well-known folk singer Ms. Hnbgu and Mr. Pavan Kotyal for preserving and promoting the Uttarakhand culture and traditions. Thank you for joining us. Besides all, I would like to welcome the senior faculty of Hnbgu University, Professor Veena Joshi, Professor Manju Khanduri Pandey, Professor R.S. Negi, and all the young faculty who voluntarily agreed to supervise the students and are actively involved into. I also appreciate the interest and enthusiasm of the faculty and the students from other institutions of the country, and we are really thankful to you and looking forward to work with you. Finally, I welcome a self-motivated and dedicated individuals of Team IIC. Without their sincere efforts, a project of this magnitude cannot be undertaken. Especially Dr. Alok Gautam, a man behind show, Dr. Sudhir Chaturvedi, Dr. Sweta Verma, Dr. Vineet Maurya, Dr. Prashant Thapliyal, and Dr. Hiralal Yadav. I wish to place on record my sincere appreciation to our student members of IIC, Mr. Nikhil, Veer Pratap, Sanjeev, Anshul, Akshita, and Suraj, for their unlimited support. The very purpose of this internship program is to make the young researchers familiar with some of the major regional issues of their respective fields to be resolved through innovative research in the formulation of regional development. The program will maintain our interest to broaden their research competencies through identifying their inclination and research potential so that they can explore all available options to avail the existing opportunities. With these words, thank you one and all. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir, for this kind and gentle welcome address. Now, I would like to request Mr. Nikhil to please present a brief documentary highlighting the activities of IIC Hnbgu.
Mr. Nikhil.
Welcome to Hnbgu Garhwal Central University, Srinagar Garhwal, Uttarakhand. The university has the responsibilities to guide the students, faculty, and all the other stakeholders, achieve excellence in academics, and strive for all-around development of the students.
The university has shown commitment towards regional and community development, which is inherent in its teaching courses, research agenda, and other outreach and extension initiatives. The university, in the lap of Himalayan ranges in the Garhwal region of Uttarakhand, is a residential cum affiliating institution of high learning. The university has 3 campuses, distinctly located from each other. Birla campus, Srinagar Garhwal with its extension at Charas campus, E. Gopal Reddy, EGR campus, Body, and Swami Rampet, SRT campus, Badshai Hall, Delhi. In addition, there are few colleges and institutes affiliated to it, spreading over 7 districts of Garhwal region of Uttarakhand. The university offered courses to undergraduate, postgraduates, and research programs in the various disciplines. Besides conventional courses and the different streams of studies, the university has introduced some regionally relevant courses that are of greater significance for the mountainous areas. A few courses at the Alliance, School of Agriculture and Allied Sciences, School of Sciences, School of Commerce, School of Earth Sciences, School of Education, School of Engineering and Technology, School of Arts, Communication and Languages, School of Humanities and Social Sciences, School of Law, School of Earth Science, and School of Management. About Institute of Innovation Cell, Inaugural Garhwal University. Innovation and entrepreneurship are the cornerstones of any developed economy, which play a vital role in fueling the socio-economic growth and development. During the last few years, Government of India has come out with many policy initiatives and schemes to promote innovation and growth. In this scenario, Institute of Innovation Cell, Hnbgu, has been playing a catalytic role in promoting innovation and entrepreneurship among students, research scholars, and faculties. Innovation Cell is Ministry of Education initiative with a purpose to systematically foster the culture of innovation in all higher education institutions across the country. The primary mandate of Innovation Cell is to encourage, inspire, and nurture young students by exposing them to new ideas and processes resulting in innovative activities in their formative years, fostered through network of innovation clubs in higher educational institutions. After successfully registration in the Ministry of Education Innovation Cell, The invitation received by the university official from the Ministry of Education. The university formed a cell named Institute Innovation Council following the Ministry of Education IIC guidelines. Institute Innovation Cell of IIC Hnbgu Central University has been promoting creativity, innovation, and entrepreneurship amongst its students, research scholars, and faculty members. In view of the announcement of the Atmanirbhar Bharat Vocal for Local, issued by the Government of India, it becomes all the more important to identify, recognize, and support innovators and entrepreneurial students, research scholars, and faculty members of IIC Hnbgu University. For the academic session 2020-2021, the university upgraded in the Ministry of Education Innovation Cell portal with the following list of faculty members: Professor Atul Yani, President IIC; Dr. Alok Sagar Gautam, Convener IIC; Mr. Prashant Paklayan, Dr. Vinit Kumar Maurya, Dr. Sudhir Kumar Chaturvedi, Dr. Hiralal Yadav, Dr. Shweta Verma, external member Mr. Manipal Singh Rawat, and student coordinator Mr. Nikhil are continuously and actively working in the vision and missions of the IIC Hnbgu. In this context, Institute of Innovation Cell Hnbgu is working closely and continuously with the students and facilitating them by providing the requisite mentoring and guidance. Some of the activities promoting innovation and started by the university to the Institute of Innovation Cell Hnbgu are IIC supported to the patent act. A system for multi-directional disinfections of optics and a method thereof applied for published and granted by Dr. Alok Sagar Gautam and Mr. Sanjeev Kumar, Department of Physics, IIC Hnbgu Central University. Airflow. In view of the COVID-19 pandemic, a device designed to generate oxygen without the use of the plant. This device to grow pure green bacteria applied for published and granted by Rahul Kumar Singh, inventors Preeti Singh, Rahul Leki, Department of Microbiology, IIC Hnbgu Central University. The look for sanitizing tunnel, manufactured and fabricated by the joint efforts of the Institute of Innovation Cell and the Department of Mechanical Engineering to extend its reach in the schools, colleges of the adopted villages and 3 campuses of IIC Hnbgu University. Innovate for a Cause competition in 2020 is being organized by IIC Articles Innovative Ideas Research Proposal Competition for faculties, research scholars, and students from the various disciplines to share their innovative, inspiring, and thought-provoking ideas and come up with a solution for social problems. And in this regard, the Institute distributed awards and prizes for the best ideas to the winners. IIC organized workshops on entrepreneurship and innovation as a career opportunity. Lecture delivered by Dr. Prerna. Workshop on business model canvas by Mr. Nilanjan Singh. Workshop on intellectual property rights and intellectual property management for startups. Special lecture delivered by Dr. Ashutosh Mishra. MIC-driven activity. Kapila, National Intellectual Property Literacy Week, a friendly platform for encouraging filing of patent applications and protecting research innovations for the benefit of the university and the society at large. It provides knowledge on patents, patent regime in India and abroad, and grant aspects. It also imparts training on drafting and filing patent application to faculties and students. It encourages faculties and scholars to go for patentable works. IIC also organized orientation session on national education policy with a focus on innovation and entrepreneurship, a special lecture delivered by Dr. Savita Mishra. Orientation session on new ways for new decades technology, enable startups option on digital marketing, lecture delivered by Dr. Vikas Rajput. Orientation session for all students and faculties of Institute by Innovation Ambassadors on Idea Management and Innovation Ecosystem by Professor Purva Ranjan. Likewise, the various webinars also organized from timely manner by the Institute of Innovation Cell on Corona pandemic, crisis and opportunity. Webinar on product and synergy, Operation Inaugural by Mr. Mahipal Singh Rawat. Webinar on a step to startup business by Mr. Sudhanshu Dangwal. Webinar activity, pitching workshop and linkages of innovators with the innovation ambassadors on innovation and its impact. Continuing with this national webinar on design for social innovation and sustainable development, emerging principles and approaches to encourage toward Atmanirbhar Bharat, Vocal for Local by Professor Pratibha Vyas. And from it, our flagship event, Design, Innovation and Technology Certificate course, has already been under final drafting, and we expect to get some really exciting and innovative ideas from the students and the targeted audience. Institute of Innovation Cell at Hnbgu, under the leadership and guidance of Honorable Vice Chancellor Professor Annapurna Nautiyal, Hnbgu University, is also continuously and closely working on training and structuring of a design, innovation and technology certificate course. The aims and objective of this course is to provide a platform for innovative ideas of students and to organize or conduct workshops, conferences and short-term programs. This course encourages the students for a startup based on their innovative ideas. It also motivates the students for registering their own companies so that they may become job creator rather than job seeker. It also encourages the students to undertake skill development courses with a regular program to become self-dependent. This certificate course also provides the mentoring and guidance to students who are starting their own business based on their training in entrepreneurship development program, courses and innovative ideas. This course is being designed by the course coordinator, Professor Atul Dhani, Dr. Shweta Verma, and Dr. Alok Sagarkar. Continuing to fulfill its visions of this session, the Institute of Innovation Cell at Hnbgu has started the concept of innovation clubs to inspire and enable students, research scholars, faculties for its online summer internship program 2021 to explore their creativity and technical skill in a fun and competitive atmosphere that teaches them technical skill, teamwork and leadership. Every month, a workshop on design thinking, intellectual property right, innovation and entrepreneurship is organized to allow young minds to nurture proactive new ideas, experiment with new technology and products of societal value, grasp of innovation, and to know the problems areas and opportunities. The IIC lecture series allows them to interact with their renowned businessmen and ambition to turn out the innovative solution for India in general and regional problems in particular. In this regard, this institute is aimed to create an environment where new thinkings and novel ideas are welcomed.
Thank you so much, sir, for this presentation and enlightening our audience about the IIC Hnbgu and presenting an information at very glance. Now, moving ahead, it's my pleasure to introduce our guest, Professor S.P. Singh. Alok sir, please could you switch off your mic? Please mute your mic. Thank you. Now moving ahead, it's my immense pleasure to introduce our chief guest, Professor S.P. Singh. Professor Singh is a renowned educationalist, ecologist, former Vice Chancellor of Hnbgu University, Advisor Planning Commission Uttarakhand Government, Chair of Excellence in Biodiversity and Ecology, Forest Research Institute Dehradun, and INSA Senior Scientist, Central Himalayan Environment Association, Nainital, Uttarakhand. Professor Singh is ardently striving for mountain-specific quality research and sustainable development of Himalayas. He has a doctoral degree in management and an outstanding contribution on the Himalayan ecology, both terrestrial and aquatic, from a tropical to alpine, with major emphasis on forest ecosystem process and an application of ecology to solution of Himalayan environmental problems. He has nearly 4 decades of teaching and research experience and guided over 35 PhD scholars. As a prolific writer and researcher, he has published more than 170 books and articles in various prestigious national and international journals. His scholarly publication during the late 80s to mid 90s on Forest of Himalaya have given a new insight to science and received a wide attention of national and international scientific fraternity. Professor Singh has also engaged with climate change impact issues and pioneered the concept of ecosystem services in India. He is a proud recipient of many awards and honors, such as Fellow of National Academy, Birbal Sahani Award for Lifetime Contribution, Uttarakhand Ratna, and Peace Prize from Italy. He has also been the courtesy professor, Oregon State University, Corvallis, United States of America. As an advisor to Planning Commission, Uttarakhand State, Professor Singh developed articles on higher education, school educations. He also serves as a member and a chairman of Research Advisory Committee of various institutions, including Chairman of Scientific Advisory Committee of GB Pant National Institute of Himalayan Environment. So now with this brief introduction, I would like to invite Professor S.P. Singh, sir, for inaugural address. Over to you, sir.
Thank you so much for your kind words. It's really a pleasure for me to be with you, seeing at least your faces. It has always been a pleasure, spending time with faculties of this university or any component of this university. So, despite my, I was getting a bit stale because of attending so many online conferences or meetings. Two factors played a role. One was my attachment with the university. And then Atul and Mr. Mahipal, their persistence, that left no option for me. Then I know Annapurna, thank you so much for inviting me and being a part of this larger family to which I also belong. So with these words, I would say that what you are doing is really wonderful and seeing some new faces also. And looks that you are in the right way and this involvement of Mahipal and all those factors. And so that is what universities are really blessed with, that they have opportunities to value those who can contribute. So that's a good way of doing things. I must congratulate the Vice Chancellor for this kind of activities which she is able to manage. So I would make a small presentation, maybe about 20-25 minutes. The idea is I'm using COVID-19 as the issue because it's so dominating. You can't think anything other than this. As a way of how really universities can participate and do research, academics, is simply an example. I'm not saying that it should be COVID only, but this I'm using as an example in this case. So here's my presentation. मैंने कहा उनको ओपन करने की पड़ेगी ले लो So, is it visible to you?
Yes, sir. It's clearly visible. Please continue. Thank you.
Okay. So, as I said, using COVID-19 to discuss academics in our universities, and also the idea is, making you more interested. You look to be interested. You are doing already many things. but I thought that, say, universities are knowledge centers. They can't afford not to value this kind of problems and incorporate in some way in their curricula. So this was the idea about it. I saw that everybody is talking about these things, but not the universities. So this was the idea. What I'm going to talk is create a role for universities amidst the heat of pandemics. This is one thing. Means what is going on nowadays. The heat is nowadays. So you need to really react or say respond to this problem in some way. Then can your teaching mode, you need because of this problem, the teaching style has to be changed. What can you do? That's another area. Then familiarizing with the vaccine is not something very novel. I'm saying, especially Uttarakhand, I want to draw your attention that Uttarakhand has a long history of, say, vaccine. And there's a place near Nainital, your Vice Chancellor must be knowing, called Mukteshwar, where you have almost a history of 200 years of vaccination and making vaccines and so on. Then wider issues related to COVID-19 and zoonotic diseases. That's another area which really, and say, overall, as an ecologist, you can see that because of disturbance of our natural habitats of some wildlife, these kind of problems are coming. Then last, the Homo sapiens means the humans as a species, which many people have started thinking is like a godlike position. Okay, I will say why it is so, and how these things are going to be handled by humans. That is another point. My simple argument is that, say, COVID is one of the most harrowing experience. So universities, say, challenging even the human hegemony. So universities can't ignore it. Glad that, say, your university and other universities are going to take it up. Universities have academic training, so it is possible for them to reorient themselves in these areas. Then it's a pandemic is a social issue where the university's strength lies. Say it's not only say medical or medicine issue. It's largely now a social issue where universities can play a much important role. Then global and national level mountain specificities are not properly reflected. If you look at, say, nowhere, a mountain word has been used as far as COVID policies are concerned. Perhaps again, your university can play a role in these areas. Then, as I said, information and debate based on COVID-19 is going on, but we are not talking about it. We are not influencing the policies. We are not influencing, contributing to what is going on. So, perhaps in this need of cell in each university is required, especially mountains, where you have as something like joining the efforts by government services, understanding those things, how oxygen isolation, quarantine, not enough rooms, facilities, testing is going on. How to really get them all integrated in such a way that people are benefited, not by, say, the systems working in isolation, what we are seeing. And the many families got infected, not one person, but the entire family, because there was not enough space, say, for example, for isolation. Then the toolkits, medicines, masks, use of these things. There should be some understanding of the universities, and then universities, I thought that can play a role with the partnership of government, with the government, that can all those things be organized in such a way that facilities are available in the remote areas of mountains. Then there are many confusions about knowledge. Sometimes, if you remember, that nobody questions these things. For example, we were said that the gap between two doses should be 4 weeks, then 6, 8 weeks, then it was 12 weeks. And so then there should be some, without proper scientific referencing. University can collect those proper scientific referencing and make someone in the university can really tell us what should be the correct one, what would have been the correct one. All are correct. I'm not clear, but the point is that we should respond to these situations. So addressing confusion and especially this disease has, brought forth many kinds of stresses. For example, people are given, say, some medicines, then that medicine reduces the, say, immunity. And then you give something else, and then you are seeing that zinc is a good thing otherwise, but zinc is proliferating the growth of the black fungus. This black fungus is not very strange thing. You were taught in PhD stage. Two fungi were the practical material for in most of the institutions. And one of them was mucus, other was rhizopus. And this one is the species of mucus. We were familiar with anybody who can see the bread during the rainy season, you can find that those spores are there. So my point is that these things were known. We need to really reinvent them. And my feeling is that even vaccine point of view, why universities can't do that? Why can't we start playing with this research on vaccine? Means especially the boys. This is not a research area which has been very new. It has been there for 200 years, as I said. And India became one of the leaders simply because British were interested. Sorry. I want to be very open as far as science is concerned. I will acknowledge anybody's contribution, whoever contributed. So in case of Uttarakhand, it had become very important place. I would come to this point later on, in a very early stage. And we knew about vaccines. There's a place near Nainital, Patwatagar. You can find all those facilities were there, and people thought that we should re-establish it. It could not be. But the point is that you have biotechnologists who can really start playing with some ideal things of vaccine and viruses. Then people are talking about nowadays that it's a wrong strategy to provide vaccine at the time when disease was at the peak. Means the point is that it may lead to many variants, mutations, and that will be a big problem. So according to these Nobel laureates and some major scientists, they are saying that the first we should have controlled the disease through lockdowns, through physical distancing, and then we should have gone for vaccine. The point is that we can't be silent about these things. You are knowledge people. You can always develop knowledge. You can develop consortium of universities. You can get connected with each one, and you have a base. You need to orient yourself so that you can really apply your mind. So another point is that I want answers, even from you people, that whatever we say, it is the economy of growing tourism, because of which within 6 months, 200 countries are affected by COVID-19. And nobody is raising this question because tourism is such an economic activity that you can't challenge. And then especially Western world, was familiar with this kind of thing. They adopted this tourism in a big way. I will come to this point later on. So then citizen science approach, especially in mountains, can play a role. The idea is that there are several social groups, government distributing development together. Can we really, with the support of government, develop some kind of relationships among the different groups which are working? So my point is that in master's courses, dissertations, understanding of these things can be. We have no raw actual data collected. First-hand data collection is except for government. Can we do it in the village level? There are problems. For example, we said that soap is the biggest solution. Yes, so luckily this virus is that way is a poor virus in the sense that simple soap is enough to really remove it. It's really there's one window which it has given to humans. But in mountains, when there is no tap water, then washing hand can be difficult. What should we do with this? So knowing those realities at the village level, through our students, through our interns, can be one way of where universities can participate. The next is how to modify teaching. My point is that if you keep on examining students on the basis of objective questions and all those things, that appears to be failing. My feeling is that we are not able to really, even when I was Vice Chancellor, I once raised the question, are you able to differentiate a good student from bad student? The Bhatji, who was looking after examination, he said, yes, we are able to do. The point is that should we change our way of examinations? Means raising a problem. If COVID is a given colony, or COVID or say disaster in a certain mountain area, and then start seeing how a student is able to really interpret things. That would depend on your total knowledge, your knowledge in very different disciplines. Only then you will be able to really contribute to that kind of thing. So instead of what you say, memorizing things, can we really encourage our students to use their knowledge and apply to addressing some solutions? Like, does rainstorm reduce virus population, for example, here? I don't know. Nobody says anything. My hunch is that it should. If water is scarce, then can it be compensated by sanitizer in mountains? Maybe. So, in that case, a student will need to sample, will use all kinds of knowledge which have been taught to construct the idea. How houses construction design should be changed. My feeling is that all these years, because of air conditioning, all this, which is not very important as far as mountains are concerned, is that we have been making closed rooms where unventilated, say almost nobody can see you. Perhaps we need veranda, revival of veranda, a vice chancellor room, and then adjacent to that room there should be veranda so that she or he can sit out and have a better air. So those things are even, and say hostel buildings, all these may be, because pandemics or pandemic-like things have to really stay. Your air is going to be a big problem as far as developing countries concerned. So my feeling is that at least we should apply our mind how our boys or girls would play and where. These things become very important now. So a room with the veranda, which was very earlier stage, was very common. It's almost gone. Perhaps we might need those things. Can we do some retrofitting and come with some new ideas? Then say another point which is coming very easily in case of COVID, that scientists need to really communicate better than they have been. If you look at, say, India, most of the consultants on rating are from the medical side, simply because India's medical science is largely based on clinical field. Research was always weak. But what point I'm going to make it here is that we need to really write science in a better way, not say doing so much processing of data that common man may not understand. For example, say one may say that 4.3 is less than 7.4, but a scientist would say whether it is statistically correct or not. And then nowadays for modeling, we are doing all kinds of processing to such an extent that the main data or the initial data is gone, is no more seen in the papers. So this kind of scientific approach has distanced ourselves from the common man. We are not able to communicate to him. So COVID has raised this issue very clearly, how to communicate with the people. And you can see that not university, but some common men who have come with the new ideas. So we need to think about that, what we have been doing means writing for this is what we call, say, peer review papers, has become too sophisticated for common man to understand. There's the need to really, say, shed some of those things we are not supposed to create a science kingdom. We need to really do something so that we can communicate with our arts friends or friends of other disciplines, so that the overall knowledge grows, because we need social factors to be considered almost in everything. I'm coming to a point which I raised in the beginning. I think I have discovered it. This is my feeling that I've not developed a peer-reviewed paper, but I wrote a blog. There's a base neo-nomadism, I call it. Say the spread of say COVID is largely because of the huge tourism activity. Many countries, India partly have become neo-nomadic. Nomadism was a very, that 95% time humans are nomadic. Only say agriculture started about 10,000 years ago. For more than 2 lakhs years, the humans were hunter-gatherers and nomad. That kind of style is coming back in a different form. Say, there was one my friend, I remember that in Australia, he had gone about 40 years ago, at the beginning. Then someone said, "What are you going to do at the weekend?" He was surprised with the question, because he thought that he might wash clothes or may sleep more. But the point was that the weekend means you have to go somewhere. In India, it was alien to our culture. I remember in Nainital, nobody used to leave his house during weekend or any day. Many people had not seen the planes. So our social fabric was so strong that we used to spend time with our friends. Travel was very minimal. But look at how things have changed. And one of the things which I want to draw your attention is the disease has been spread by those who are rich, those who can fly internationally. But the affected people are the poor people, those thelawalas, also mountain villages who have never traveled, have never undertaken international travel. So suffering is faced by the common man more because of the behavior of rich people. Rich people in India, rich people outside, everywhere. Just have some data. So tourism is justified at all costs. Nobody is raising this point. Should we ask this question or not? Europe alone received about 7 million international tourists. About, say, world population is about, say, 7 billion. About more than 4.5 billion people travel every year. And a substantial part of the international. And just see, things are changing, not only Europe, but poor countries are also traveling more than they used to travel. For example, I would say Europe contributed about 66% to arrival in 1950, but now it is about 50, because other countries or poor countries have started participating. So this is becoming neo-nomadism is becoming a kind of culture which nobody questions. Say population of France is 67 million, but the tourists are 89.3 million. Say even in mountain cities, Nepal has 11.7 million, which is if you consider the population of say Kathmandu, is quite high. In Ladakh, I found that there are more tourists close to the population size are the tourists from outside in some years. So I'm not against tourism. What I'm saying that it should be considered a problem in view of the pandemics. The pandemics are to come. Whether we should have, how to combine both, it's going to be very challenging for humans, because culturally humans are going to travel. It's almost impossible, partly because 95% times you have been nomad. So that character, genetically you are not different from the nomadic or hunter-gatherer humans, sapiens. You are not really different from that. So that's why it occurred very easily when the money came. And the history is something like this. Agriculture, there was a time about, say, 400 years ago, 500 years. when everybody used to do, say, food production. When food production became in access and others got freedom, kingdoms, monarchy, army, all those things developed, and many more and more people got time to leave say, they didn't need to, not everybody needed to produce food. So you've got more money. Those who produce food had always less money, and those who didn't got more money, more time, and leisure and tourism. So the point is that agriculture is the foundation of this culture. Means it produced more food than say a few people could produce food for the rest of the people. That's why those people could really do this kind of tourism. So my submission is that say what you can see is the airport, where everywhere this kind of scene is very common. Then we are retaining also some of the old things like Kumbha. I know that some people may object to my saying it, but you can't really have both and yet have India free from these diseases. Means tourism like Western world and retaining, say, those ancient behavior, even when there is a crisis. And so when there is a war, we stop many things. It's the kind of war we should have stopped this. So, the rise of, I said, domestication, agriculture has another dimension. It led to deforestation. It led to domestication of animals. So deforestation means those animals, wild animals, get in contact with the, say, domestic animals because they didn't have home. And that became the source of zoonotic diseases. Most of the zoonotic diseases have this kind of relationship. The wild species transferring, say, diseases to domestic animals. And from domestic animals, diseases came to humans. Look at, say, almost all viruses have this kind of property. And one of the very common now bats, and so I want to draw your attention that, say, bats are source of reservoirs of, say, they say, of virus. It doesn't mean that wherever they go, there will be virus. No, they don't shed viruses. Some other species that have to come in contact with them to transfer to humans. The direct transfer of disease or virus from bat to humans is much less. So this can be an interesting research area in the sense that, do you know that mammals are about 6,000 species? And 20% of them are bats, and we never recognize it. You ask anywhere in India, nobody would say that, nobody would be affected by the fact that 20% of the mammals are bats, and they are not even studied. We study in WII much more elephants or tigers, the charismatic animals, but not bats, which are described also as like a human. They are not only, say, pollinators of some species, they are also seed dispersers and play a role in, say, keeping those viruses to the body. If you disturb, say, bats more, so those viruses may go to other species, which will be much closer to humans. So my submission is that the balance of what we do ecosystem here plays a role which is very, very understood by most of the people in our, say, life. When the natural forests are disturbed, as I said, say, virus-carrying animals, they come in touch with the humans through their intermediaries. And then there is a lot of wildlife markets. The rich people in America, they have all kinds of animals, wild animals. And through them also, diseases spread. The trade of live animals, not trade of dead animals. So that became another factor. So these are some data. I just want to show that bats are 1,423 out of 6,000 mammal species. They roost in foliage rocks And there has been the big center attacks. If you go to FRI during July, because of the ficus actually seeds, you can see the sky black during evenings. And then we have a high longevity for there. There are some unusual characters also. They are high for their size. So some people say they might have genes of agelessness. And humans are, anything which is agelessness affects humans. So that kind of biotechnology is being planned also. They make large colonies. And now there is an attempt globally, which I don't know whether India is part of it or not. There are 1.6 million mammalian and waterborne viruses in the world, 1.6 billion. We know only 260 viruses, means only 0.1%. And for that, you need to do a lot of efforts, and you need to have a molecular labs, genomics, and all those things you have to do, like as you did in case of humans. So mostly hunted and the domesticated the spreaders. Those which are hunted or which are largely, partly domesticated. So my point is that we need to really take care of these kind of knowledge also. We should know that much more than we have been trying to know. I said that vaccine should not be treated something alien to us. Robert Koch, you know him? He was given Nobel Prize in one of the earliest Nobel winners. In a way, he was the first Nobel winner who had some contact with India. And he visited Mukteshwar, as I said, I will come to this point later on. And then in those days, there were many diseases which used to kill, say, animals in lakhs, especially cattle and all those. Like one disease was ring pest killer, vaccine. For all those things, vaccines were just developed. Koch is the person who discovered TB bacterium and separated from the TB, the bacterium which used to affect animals. So for that he got a Nobel Prize. And this building is still there. It is in Mukteshwar. Anybody can go. You'd be surprised to know that in this building I saw that there is a library which had publications on nature and science of 1990, 1920 to 25, 15, 20 is still retained. And they had a place where they used to store a lot of snow in a cave, and vaccines used to be stored in that. So that kind of efforts were gone through. There were scientists don't belong to any country that way. So they had served us in a way. That's why India, I'm seeing that nowhere people have referred to these things, like talking about the India supremacy in vaccine production. It was largely because the culture was started about 200 years ago. And I want to show that these two persons, Koch and Linger, the director on the left side, in the more white clothes, they had visited, and this photograph was taken in Bhubaneswar. Why can't we have some tourism associated with this? Why don't we do? I'm really, simply because we are not proud of whatever we were part of that. Well, it was done by some British, but they were scientists. They were not, they are not from, one country or another country. They were international people and spent time with us. So now a question comes. Yuval Harari raised that end of Homo sapiens means the species has developed so much power and knowledge and technology that it's no more subject to the natural process of selection. Anything which is not subject to natural process of selection is not a species. Speciation occurs because of natural process of selection. We have control rooms, we have controlled temperature, we have trying to control almost everything. So COVID in its way as a small challenge. Then you too are a species, in the sense that you can be affected by some disease like this, whatever technology you have. Because your compulsion is to maintain economic growth, to live the way you have been living. You allow all kinds of economic activity, even at the cost of a disease like COVID-19. So the question comes, the university should, these points should be discussed. Should we become a god, which humans are trying? Technologically, medical science, if you go to medical research, not the medical clinics, you will be surprised to think that they are almost convinced that very soon, not I won't be there, but after 50, 60 years, immortals will be produced. Means humans won't die. These seem to be controlled by genes. So they would be selective. But what that power, that knowledge, and that those things, and then you have say artificial intelligence. Then whether humans would continue to evolve, these things are questionable. So the species which doesn't evolve is a species which has disappeared, which would disappear, that's the idea. Then we need to really, you are, when you are listening to me, I just want to throw some relief. There were men who did science, some extraordinary. There was a loner like Einstein. कोई बच्चा नहीं था इनके साथ जो पढ़ता हो, जो research करता हो. He lived at a different plane than say anybody else. He used to say that he didn't need any position. He won't mind if there's no position. Perhaps he really, you can rely what he was saying. Then you had a person who happened to do science, had a knowledge, but happened to see some process going on, and then make use of that process. He was not ambitious. The man who discovered penicillin, which changed human life. It took about 20 years, can you believe it, that after discovery for penicillin antibiotic to come to market, and then that changed the whole world. That was one of the biggest impacts that we ever done by this section of science. Then you had two students, young, one called Watson, only 23-year-old, and the Crick was slightly older. They happened to be meet in Cambridge. Watson had come from America in search of some interesting research questions. Do you know that they were not very technologically advanced, and they could not do crystallography themselves? They kept on discussing every day in the university.
Sir, may I intervene? There is some time bomb, so may I request to...
I'm going to finish it. So the point was that they could do this science because discussion, and this is what I see the university, a place where people are discussing, coming with the new ideas, and through discussion getting Nobel Prize. So my suggestion is that in research, this should not be dumb body places where people need to interact. Science and arts people should be able to really interact and come with that. Create the atmosphere. That is what I think university should be. Thank you so much. Yes, I'm through.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much, sir, for this very informative microscopic presentation and highlighting our audience about ground-level real problem and challenges, and focus on many other dimensions like environmental concern, and the idea of new nomadism is quite interesting one. And once again, I would like to just thank you for kindly consenting to be our chief guest and giving your valuable time for gracing this occasion. Thank you so much, sir.
So now it's my privilege to introduce our Vice Chancellor, Honorable Vice Chancellor Professor Annapurna Nautiyal ma'am. She is a former Dean School of Humanities and Social Sciences and former Head of the Department of Political Science, HNB Garhwal University. Her area of interest is international relation, but she's also has a keen interest in the regional and national issues, particularly the problem of women empowerment in the hill areas. She's a widely traveled person and was a Fulbright visiting professor at the Department of Public and International Affairs, George Mason University, Fairfax, Virginia in 2006. She is the chairperson of the University Women's Cell and convener of the Board of Studies and Research Degree Committee. She is also a member of Advisory Committee of the Nehru Center of Aligarh Muslim University. She has published several articles in reputed journals. Professor Nautiyal has authored and edited 5 books, which include The Role of Henry Kissinger in World Politics, India in the New World Order, Uttarakhand in Turmoil, 50 Years of Human Rights, Expectation and Challenges to Indian Foreign Policy in the New Era. Beside it, IIC Hnbgu, under the leadership and guidance of Honorable Vice Chancellor ma'am, is also continuously and closely working on framing and structuring a very new course, Design, Innovation and Technology Certificate course, to impart design education as a discipline to nurture a creative work through its certificate course in the coming academic session. So with this brief introduction, and ma'am is already having some time constraint and she's already engaged with some official meeting. So now I cordially invite Honorable Vice Chancellor ma'am for her inaugural address. Ma'am, please kindly start your deliberation. Over to you, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you very much, Shweta. A very good morning to everyone. And first of all, I would like to say that it's my privilege to extend a very warm welcome to a person whom I have always admired, even when I was a student in DSP College, Nainital, Professor S.P. Singh. So, sir, most welcome to your own university, which you have nurtured with your great ideas. So, it's my privilege to welcome you. Then we have Professor Kala with us, and his blessings are always with the university. I would also like to say convey my appreciation to Dr. Atul Dhani, who is looking after this IIC very efficiently. And then he is being supported by Dr. Alok Sagar Gautam, who is always bubbling with energy, ideas, and he is very productive. And this year, I would also like to share with this gathering that he was given an award and citation by our research and consultancy cell also for his brilliant research and his brilliant work. So he got a cash prize of rupees 25,000 plus a citation. Although it's not a great amount, but it's a very small amount to encourage or to acknowledge what they have done for the university. And then we have many other people who are associated with IIT, but I would also like to extend or appreciate Mahipal Singh, as Professor Singh also said that he is he insists for everything, and it is due to his insistence only that we are now in a good shape if we talk about our alumni association. So he is a kind of charger who will charge people to become the member of alumni association, and I have given this task to him that you have to enroll this number of alumni. They supported very aptly by Pawan Kochial, and they are doing a wonderful job by helping HNB Garhwal University. I think this is what we need in the present times. We have to give back to the society. We have to give back to the university to which we belong. Unless we feel the belongingness, we cannot do anything for any institution. So this kind of belongingness I can see in them, and there is a great motivation in their team. Then Hima Negi Karachi is always, she's always with us. Then there are other many good and renowned innovators in this IIC of HND University, and we have all deans with us. We have all senior faculty members, like I can see Professor Nanwal also in this, and I extend a very warm welcome to each one of you from the core of my heart. And you are doing a very good work, great work. And before saying anything else, I would just like to say a few words about which Professor Singh talks. He has touched the pulse of today's scenario. Because we talk only about COVID, we think only about COVID, and we always think that how to defeat this COVID. Because it's a novel coronavirus. There is still so many doubts in the mind of the people, even for vaccination. There is hesitancy. So here is what the universities shall do or they should do. Professor Singh aptly pointed out that we should aware the people that vaccination is the only way to stop it, to control it. Otherwise, there is nothing. Even if you take a cocktail of medicines, it's not sure you'll be survived. Different kind of disease. There is no parallel. We can go back to 1918 pandemic, but that was different. And that pandemic also took a toll of people and afterwards it vanished away. So we have been facing these kinds of pandemics. Like now, black fungus has become an endemic and it's creating horror stories everywhere. So this is where the scientists have to work. They should join hands with other institutions and try to, and that knowledge should be applicable for the society. Because firmly believe that whatever we do in science, it should be applied for the welfare of society. So similarly, vaccine of this COVID-19 has been developed within no time, and this is a commendable achievement of the scientists, because this vaccine is providing some kind of relief to the people who are vaccinated. So science for the society should be the goal. I have many times spoken about that. We have done research and we have written many papers in impact factor journals. But impact factor journals are also very important because we have to see our ranking also. So these are needed. But who reads those papers? Only a group of people who is interested in that kind of science. So the science should be people-centric. It should be people-centric, and I'm very happy that some of the faculty members are doing commendable work in this direction also. I would like to give example of Rahul. Rahul has recently developed, or he has done some kind of work in association with his research scholars about some oxygen plant which can be produced inside a house. And I have asked him if this is a new thing, it's an innovation, please present it. And this innovation should go to extension, it should go to the society, so that every house can prepare that kind of technology or plant, and that can generate oxygen for the people. Because presently the crisis is of oxygen only. There is nothing important than the sun. If you cannot breathe, you cannot do anything. So if there are something which is giving relief to the people, like through this experiment, I think it should go to the people and they should use it also. And yesterday there was a news which also, which is very insightful. That was that in BHU, a group of scientists, 4 or 5 people, the scientists, they have studies to prove that this coronavirus they have taken a very less sample, so it can be doubtful also. They tested only on 20 people who had COVID. And they, on the basis of that, they have concluded, and even they have sent their findings to the PMO also to see that if some people have infected with COVID, they will only be needing one dose of vaccine. So this kind of research, if it is true, I think it will save lots of lives because the vaccination will go to other people also. So presently we need this kind of science, and this kind of science which is people-centric is very, very important for us. And as far as the IIC goes of the Hnbgu University, I think they are also doing fine. I am again giving example of Rahul because yesterday I got a call from Dr. Bharat Jhunjhunwala, and he just asked me that we want to do some kind of research in association with microbiology lab, and we want to test that whether the water of Ganga can destroy the virus or bacteria. So we need your lab facilities. But we are in no position to give institutional charges. And we are doing it in association with your Department of Microbiology. I said, it's a very good idea. You please do it, and we'll take care of the institutional charge. So if such kind of researches are coming, and if they are good for the humankind, we'll waive the institutional charges for such kind of research. And I'm also very happy to inform you that recently we have also initiated a program of extending 40,000 rupees to the students who have some innovative work, who has done some innovative work, or they have written something new in their dissertation. So they'll get 40,000 to develop it further. Because we want to turn this university into our innovation university, as Professor Singh actually said that what is the role of the universities. The role of universities is that they will innovate, they will take that innovation to extension, and that extension will go to the society. This should be the aim. And our national education policy also talks about it. So we need to develop groups of research scholars, team, because ultimately, although Professor Singh showed a slide of Einstein where he was described as a loner, but I think presently, because the pandemic, the scale of pandemic is such as that it has affected everything. Economy, education, society, relationship, everything has been affected. So we need a multidisciplinary approach to address the problem. There is a problem of mental health. There is a problem of mental security. There are cases of depression. So we need a multidisciplinary approach even in science also. We have to join hands together to come to some conclusion and to give some new ideas to make science. I would also like to, I am very happy to say that actually Professor Singh when he talked about Mukteshwar, then I immediately recollected Patwa where we used to go for organizing some kind of picnic. So these two institutions were always present in Uttarakhand. But especially Patwa Dangar, it was not, it was neglected. I feel so. Because it was a good center of producing vaccines, but it was neglected. So our institutions are very, very important. But institutions with their innovative ideas and creativity can create such situations which are sustainable and useful for the society. We have various examples with us, like how Infosys was created, how Wipro was created. Even we can talk about the Serum Institute of India, Pune. We can talk about Bharat Biotech. These are Indian companies. especially Bharat Biotech. So they are doing their bit. Now it's our time that we have also to do something innovative, something revolutionary, which will change the life of the people. There are so many questions which Professor Singh raised, and if this IIC will take some of the ideas, I think that will be great. Here, I would also like to share one more thing, that one of the members of IIC, Vijesh Gangil, he has worked on prosthetic feet by using nettle leaves. But I told him that why don't you go for patenting it? Because it's your innovation. I don't know whether he did it or not, but I'm not sure. But again, I'll request all the faculty members who are joined in this virtual meeting that if they have something new to show or to share, they should also go for patenting, because patenting is very, very important. Respected Professor Singh also talked about that we need to collaborate with the university. There should be collaboration. And here, I'm very happy to inform Professor Singh that we have taken up this idea and we have already created a consortium of Indian Central Himalayan universities. And there we are presently working on 5 areas, and these areas has been sponsored by NITI Aayog. And these are related to our regional problems, like enumeration of female labor and its impact on economy, which is very, very important, and presently this has become more important in view of the migration and reverse migration more. And then agroecology with emphasis on marketing, because everybody knows the situation of agriculture in the hill areas, so we have to diversify. We should go for agroecology. Although I am a novice and Professor Singh is an expert and doyen of this area, but even then I can say that agroecology is the future. So we should invest in that also. So this is also one of the areas. And then we are also working on development of eco-friendly and cost-effective tourism in the hills. And I was very much appreciative when Professor Singh was saying that we have become kind of nomads, that we search for weekends. Every Saturday, Sunday, even when we go to Dehradun or to any place, you can see the crowd which comes from Delhi for weekends, for rafting. And what kind of pollution, what kind of effect it creates on the ecosystem of that area, nobody is interested to know, because they are minting money. And this money, or this habit of minting money has brought us to this juncture when we don't want to see anything, only our well-being, mental health, physical security, and that's it. And then there is one more area which is also very important, that is opportunities of livelihood to check migration from hills. So if there are opportunities in the hill areas only, there won't be any migration and there won't be any crowding. Like in Dehradun, one doesn't want to live. It has become so much crowded that one feels threatened. So if in the hill areas this can be developed, then it will check migration also. And one more area about which Professor Singh also talked, water conservation and harvesting strategies. Because 2 days back, I was reading a report, and that report was very, very alarming. That said that the glaciers, particularly in Himalaya, are receding. And after some time, Tibet will, that is known as a water tower of Asia, it will be nowhere. So if the glaciers recede and we are deprived of water, then what will happen? The humanity will again face a crisis, and this crisis will be, we will be begging for boond pani. We will not have the water. So that's why his suggestion that can we replace sanitizers in place of water so that we are not wasting water. So I think these things should be taken further, and the researchers through innovation cell would make more sense if they go for practical issues. They have done a commendable work, and they have done during this COVID period when physical activities were not possible. They have used it in the best possible manner by inviting reputed scholars and distinguished scholars for delivering lectures, so that the students they should be aware about what is changing, what has to be changed, and how things are moving in the world. So I think they have done a commendable work. And as one more point I would like to just highlight, that you are absolutely correct when you say that biotechnology is not working for vaccination. They should. And I would like to inform you that the state government has also trying to establish a virology lab in Joras campus, and they have already sanctioned money for it, and they are even ready to train people in their medical colleges. So if this happens, I think it will be a great work for the society also. And that's where the university can play a role, because we have to look after the society also. So if we go to the society, that will be, I think, great contribution of any university. So I think with these words, I would again like to say my thanks and my huge appreciation to Professor S.P. Singh for sparing his time. And I always respect him, marvel him, and admire him. And we have Professor Kala, and we always have the blessings from Professor Kala. He's always with us, he's always guiding us, and whenever he's invited, he's always there with us. And this IIC is, I think it is being aptly guided by Professor Atul Dhani, Alok Gautam. And my one more message to Alok is that please work on the area where you specialize. I'll take one more minute and then I'll leave. Actually, last year when this corona pandemic happened, I just talked to Alok. And I said that, Alok, is it possible that this is spreading through air? And Alok was so much receptive to this idea that he not only studied it, but he published a paper also, and in a good journal. So last year also, it was my hunch that why it is happening so fast, and this year it has been correctly said that it is in the air, and the capacity of its spread is 10 meters. It can go 10 meters also. That's why this disease has become so deadly. But it is our mistake also that we took it very lightly, because pandemics, they cannot be taken very lightly. And we should still use masks, social distancing, and also hand hygiene we should also practice, because then only we will survive. So if the human race survives, then only science will flourish, and science has to contribute with humanities and social sciences. That's what the National Education Policy also talks, blending of humanities and social science with STEM, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, and also management. With these words, I would like to stop here, and my thanks to everyone, and I again appreciate Professor Singh and all others who have joined it. Thank you so much for blessing this university again with your presence, and we look forward to your presence frequently. Please keep blessing us. It is your university, and you have to bless it because you have nurtured this university when it was a state university. Now it's a central university. The only difference is that state and central. The rest of the university infrastructure ecosystem is same. So thank you so much. Thank you, IIC, for this program, and also inviting.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for so many kind words. Thank you.
Thank you. So, if with the permission of this, may I leave now because I have to represent in another meeting. Okay?
Ma'am,
Organizer, please allow me to leave.
Ma'am, thank you so much, ma'am, for your kind words. Ma'am, I am happy to share that as per your guidance and supervisions with the help of Professor R.C. Ramola, sir, we are trying to do some study. Is there any effect of the linkage of the coronavirus with the air? So we are planning some type of measurements at hospitals, nearby COVID centers, with the help of the measurements of the air and as well as the COVID. So very soon we will come up with an idea to help out. Is there any strong relation of air with coronavirus?
Can you see the relationship with the rain, of the impact of rain and of the concentration in the air?
Sorry, sir.
Impact of rain.
The relationship of rain.
Rain on
Yes.
concentration of
Yes, sir. Sir, I did the analysis with the effect of meteorological parameters and with the COVID cases with all the 28 states. And few states are showing the positive relation with the what we can say temperature and humidity. But I think all the coastal areas.
a rainstorm, after a rainstorm.
Sir, rainstorm, no, sir. These things I have to do, sir.
My point is that I always become happy when there is a rain because air is going to be clean.
Yes,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Does
Yes,
it,
sir.
does it apply to corona or not? That is what.
Yes, sir.
That can
And I think I'll do it. He will do it and he'll keep you posted about this and he'll inform you.
Yes, sir.
And
Yes, sir.
I think if you can share your presentation with the IIC, I think they can take many ideas from that also. Because we have to have different kind of ideas and your ideas are always very, very innovative. So this is an innovation cell and it has to be innovative, right? So you can request Professor Singh to share that presentation with you and you can take up any idea. Because ideas are the only thing which matters, right? An idea will take you further. So with this, thank you, sir, for your intervention and very good intervention. And I would like to request that please allow me to leave with folded hands because I have to attend another meeting. But one thing is very good that this online meetings have made it possible for us to interact, although it's not a physical interaction. That is missing, we cannot replace it. But something good has also happened. So it's a blessing for us, like in the teaching, learning, also there are good things are happening. And the most important thing which I noticed that now we are on the digital platform as far as the payments and receipts are considered. No one is using the paper money. And slowly in our office also we are using emails. We are not using as much paper as we used to use earlier. The file work is primarily being done through email. So Corona has also told us that you have to be very careful about everything. So thank you so much, sir. Thank you all.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
I'm leaving.
Thank you. Oh, thank you so much, ma'am, for all your encouragement and proactive words and motivate our team members of IIC to engage and actively work on new ideas and innovation to deal with the various problems. Once again. So now I invite Dr. Alo Sagar Gautam sir, convener IIC Hnbgu, for formal vote of thanks to our chief guest and honorable Vice Chancellor Hnbgu for accepting our invitation and for gracing the occasion with their sagacious work. But there is an announcement for audience and participants. The program will still continue for second session with talk invited from Professor S.P. Kanda sir. So I request all of you please continue with the program for second session. Over.
Thank you, Dr. Sweta ma'am, for providing the opportunity to express vote of thanks of this first session of the elite class of academic gathering. Our sincere thanks to Professor S.P. Singh sir, Chair of Excellence in Biodiversity and Ecology, FRI Dehradun,
Uttarakhand INSA Senior Scientist, Central Himalayan Environment Association Nainital, Uttarakhand, and also former Vice Chancellor of IIC Hnbgu University for accepting our request and granting a previous time to address us in this session. Sir, we are delighted with your inspiring words and very, very informative talk. Thank you so much, sir. I express my gratitude to Professor Annapurna Nautiyal ma'am for sharing her thoughts with the participants and sparing a valuable time, and also most important to allow us to conduct this online internship program. Thanks to our Honorable Dynamic Vice Chancellor ma'am for unkind encouragement and guidance and support at each and every step. Thank you so much, ma'am. Our sincere thanks to Professor S.P. Kala sir, Mr. Mahipal sir, Mrs. Hnbgu Karasi ma'am, and Mr. Pavan Kotial sir for accepting our invitation and to make your gracious presence for this program. Our sincere thanks to Professor Atul Dhyani sir for allowing us to conduct this online internship program, and heartfelt thanks for guidance suggestions during the whole formulation of the program. Thank you so much, sir. I am grateful to all the supervisors, Professor Veena Joshi ma'am, Professor Ranjit Negi sir, Professor Manju Khanduri Pandey ma'am, and all the faculty members of my university who are supervising to the participants across the country. Also, they will share their thoughts and experience with the participants during coming days of this program. I extend my sincere thanks to Dr. Sudhit Kumar Chaturvedi sir, Dr. Shweta Verma ma'am, Dr. Preet Kumar Maurya sir, Dr. Rahul Kumar Singh sir, and student members Mr. Nikhil, Akshay Agarwal, B. Pratap Singh, Mr. Sanjeev Singh Rawat, Mr. Anshul Deoli for completing the official procedures and kind guidance and support. I also express sincere thanks to all the faculty members of IIC Hnbgu University, Professor R.C. Namola sir, Professor S.C. Nanwal sir, Professor S.C. Gupta sir, Professor O.P. Gosai sir, Professor Y.P. Revani sir, students, research scholars, young faculty members who are participating in the online internship program and receiving guests in this annual session for the graceful presence. Lastly, I wish that online internship program very fruitful and successful in achieving the objectives through meaningful deliberations on the issues of Uttarakhand, Himalaya, and regional and country level. I would like to mention here the participation certificates will be issued to only for those who will attend all the technical sessions of this online internship program of 8 weeks from 1st of June 2021 to 26th of July. Now I hand over the technical session to Dr. Shweta ma'am for further proceedings. Thank you to all.
Thank you so much, sir, for this formal vote of thanks. Now, moving ahead, our next dignitary to honor us with his presence is our guest speaker, Professor S.P. Kala. Professor S.P. Kala, popularly known as ex-civil service officer turned into management guru, has a doctoral degree in management from IIC Hnbgu University and a specialization in strategic management, total quality management, corporate legal environment, public system management, stress management, and so on. Professor Kala is a resource person associated with a good number of universities and education institutions in India and abroad. He has been associated as a visiting professor with Indian Institute of Technology, Roorkee, Delhi School of Economics, Department of Commerce, respectively. Currently, he is a visiting professor at Doon University, Dehradun, University of Petroleum and Energy Studies, Dehradun, Professor Emerita Tirthankar Mahavir University, Moradabad, and Vice President Global Research Foundation for Corporate and Governance. He has authored and co-authored 150 articles and research papers in various national and international journals of repute. He has been a consultant to various national and international organizations. He has been the head of the Department of Business Management of IIC Hnbgu University in 1998. For 3 years, he was also functioning as the Dean of the Faculty of Business Management and Tourism of the university. He is a life member of one of the prestigious professional bodies such as All India Management Association, New Delhi, Association of British Scholars, New Delhi, United Writers Association, Chennai, Indian Society of Training and Development, and many more. For his service, he has been bestowed upon many national and international level awards for his dedicated services to the Government of India and for contribution in the field of knowledge and education and for social work. So with this brief introduction, I am delighted to invite Professor S.P. Kala sir to please deliver your talk. Over to you, sir.
Thank you very much, and I am happy to note that I have been invited to participate in this excellent program. Thanks to Atul and his team that they remembered me. Whenever I am invited to HNB Garhwal University, I feel my privilege and pleasure to always get associated with it because my glorious 14 years I spent as a director of Chauras campus, which Atul knows very well. All the faculty members, they know very well. And what together we did, it is not a history, but it is a memorable history. Though they say that past is the history, future is the mystery, but enjoy the. We cannot say it's the past. Instead, we feel as if we are there through our heart and soul. Now, it is the inaugural session or internship program to generate innovation and creativity research. I begin with my deliberation with complimenting those officers and staff in the University Grant Commission who coined this program, who coined this idea of innovative science. Because innovations are always associated with ideas for innovation. There is difference between research and innovation. Research is well structured, but innovation is not structured. It is spontaneous, it is sudden, it happens. So just I will read few lines from this great document which has been coined by the UGC, through which this program or this idea of innovation cells at different universities have commenced. What a nice thing they have written is that India shares the global challenges of higher education in the 21st century. An unprecedented rise in the number of universities, students, their changing social profile, rise of interconnected networks of knowledge facilitated by new technologies, greater integration of world economy, increasing recognition of cultural plurality, and emergence of new problems that defy existing solutions define the context of higher education all over the globe. The challenges requires innovations. Here they have added the word innovations. No, inventions and innovations, there are two different things. And the thing is that how beautifully they have explained it here. The challenges requires innovations that go beyond changes in management, governance and financing. See, they have exemplified, they have expanded the scope. Because earlier when you used to talk about the inventions, in the common man's parlance and in the general people, the idea is that it is related to some sort of science, to some sort of technology, some sort of techniques. But here they have added all the areas of knowledge by extending that goes beyond the management, governance and financing. The new century has brought new issues, climate change, technology of biological intervention, transnational law and justice, and has brought to force some old issues, global poverty, accommodation of diversity, energy crisis, and defy the existing divisions and protocols of knowledge and demand adequate and fast response to problems that affect the well-being of humanity. See what a wonderful explanation they have given. They have expanded it that no, it is not only confined to one area, but it relates to or covers all those areas where there are problems. Because if there are no problems, then why we need inventions? And I will, through my knowledge, experience and exposure, whatever I will speak before you people, because you all are learned, you are well versed in academics, but we are well versed in experience and exposures. Because as you grow up and up and up in age, in your deliberations, in your post, in your career, then what you get the experience. And you use the experience, in reality, you get exposed. So what I am speaking before you learned people is that it is the blend of my knowledge, experience and exposure. See, knowledge is what you know. For example, I am big zero about the chemistry. I am big zero about that social science, sociology. but I may be a learned person in my field of strategic management or general management. So knowledge is what you know, and experience is how you utilize and use that knowledge in your day-to-day life. And when you use this lot of places and derivations and lot of seminars, lot of teachings, then you get the exposure. I'm grateful to you that the university, my university, HNB Garhwal University, is at the right track and right direction. See the university, what they have got the three dimensions functions. तीन तरह के इनके उत्तरदायित्व हैं विश्वविद्यालयों को. What is the first? First is the academics. Your teaching, your syllabus, conducting examinations. Second important is that research. How many research projects you have got? How many research scholars you have got? How many your research articles have been published in the different journals? How many research you have conducted and done? They resulted into award of degrees and doctorate and whatever it is. And out of them, and how much outcome of the research has been utilized for the welfare of the society. And now in research, another area has been added exactly.
I request you all please make your mic on mute. Don't distract the. Please make your mic on mute. Oh. Yeah, sir. Please, you may continue. Sorry for distraction. Please continue, sir.
Kala sir, you need to unmute your mic.
इससे गड़बड़ हो गया जो बीच में डिस्टर्बेंस हुआ ना.
हाँ जी.
Sorry for inconvenience, sir. Please continue.
हाँ. तो अब मैंने पहले बताया कि what is that university three dimension? Is that first knowledge, academics, second is that research, and most important, which all you people are, young team is engaged now. I am very happy to see all young people associated with the ICC cell. Is that extension? What is that extension? Extension is that whatever is happening inside the four walls of the university, whatever is happening in the research papers, whatever is being propagated through research thesis, you share it to those who are in need of that. That is the extension. Extension के अंतर्गत ही आपका ये innovation cell की गरिमा है और extension cell को ही आपको ज्यादा फोकस करना पड़ेगा क्योंकि research तो is a part and parcel of the game. But so far extension work has been very neglected. When I was as a director Chauras campus, I focused most of the time on extension work. And I got involved even Jagat Singh Chaudhary Jangli, all other people, those who are right from the common crowd of the society, and I brought them to the university and injected them into the mainstream so that their contribution can be utilized by us and we can understand how they achieve those heights for which they are known. Here I have got three examples of our old students. One is Maipal Raut, Pawan Kotial and Himani Karachi. I am proud of all these three, and like these three, there are many who are connected with me or associated with me. And I am, even still I am working on extension. I have utilized their talent because I know what innovative ideas they have got. How much their innovative ideas I can explore and use for the welfare of the society. I tell you that there are three areas where we must, ICC cell must focus. आपका ये जो online internship program चल रहा है, Atul, I request you, in fact I request or I direct you, I have got all liberty because of my special relationship with you. I am one of your admirers. So whosoever comes for your internship program, first give them some sort of a short noting about what this invention or innovative cell and what the program, how it has been coined by UGC, what are its aims and objectives, how you are going to achieve it, what are our expectations from those to whom you will be giving knowledge in this internship, and make them sure that they are serious. not that physically they are sitting and mentally they are somewhere else. Make them physically and that mentally be present in your all workshops. Because whenever any person who is knowledgeable or who is your resource person, they come at your request, they have got the expectations that they must be listened carefully. Otherwise, why they should do so much hard work, prepare the notes and all these things and spend their time and deliberate it. For example, what a nice talk about my mentor, Professor S.P. Singh. And you can encash this opportunity because you have got the very, very dynamic and positive vice chancellor that I can vouch. So make this opportunity as your asset. So you will have to encourage these people who will be coming in this internship is that by 3 things you will have to inform them. One is that knowledge. They must be always open for expecting knowledge, getting knowledge, and without bias. Second thing that they should have creative thinking. If you are not creative, you cannot do. You will be mere academics. You will not be man of common people, man of society, man of the nation, which the nation requires now. We require those who do not believe in the academics, but they believe in the practical orientation approach. And third is that motivation. They should have some sort of motivation and a zeal to be open for knowledge, to be a creative element, and to work for wherever they are, in which whatever capacity they are working. It doesn't mean whether you are at the top or the bottom or the lowest. But if you have got these 3 elements, so what you do the university, you provide them environment. Your job is to because you cannot draw the horse to the Ganges and tell the horse that it is a holy river, you drink it, your thirst for years together will be over. You cannot do it like that. You can only show the horse way, that is the Ganges. And that is the water. It is for that, whether he wants to take bath, whether he or she wants to drink water or whatever it is. It is for them because you do not have the choice. You can give them input, but output is there. You can be a medium to create a link between input and output. So this is what I expect from you. See, I will give you the living examples where from a simple creativity, somebody's creative mind coined it and implemented it. मैं आपको श्रीनगर सबसे पहले हिस्टोरिकल आप देखेंगे वैदिक काल से लेकर what was this invention of zero? This was idea of some saint. हुआ था कि नहीं था? That was some sort of a innovative idea. क्योंकि जहां जहां हम इनोवेशन की बात करते हैं, इन्वेंशन की बात करते हैं, हम आइडियाज के बगैर इनोवेशन वर्ड आप यू कैन नॉट टॉक. आप खाली इनोवेटिव कहेंगे तो एवरीबॉडी विल बी कंफ्यूज व्हाट इनोवेटिव. It will be always be whenever you talk of innovative idea or ideas. Then जहां आप रिसर्च की बात करेंगे वहां आइडिया पहले याद आता है. आइडिया फॉर रिसर्च. वहां रिसर्च आइडिया नहीं होता, वहां होता है आइडिया फॉर रिसर्च. तो ये डिमार्केशन आपको ध्यान में रखनी पड़ेगी. ठीक है. उसके बाद अब आगे बढ़ते हैं तो मैं आपको एग्जांपल देता हूं. तो जीरो का मैंने बता दिया. न्यूटन ने जब ये ग्रेविटी लॉ क्वाइन किया था तो क्या कोई रिसर्च की थी? नो. इट वाज ओनली आइडिया सडनली स्ट्रक इन हिज माइंड. ऊपर से सेब गिरा तो आइडिया है कि नहीं सेब कैसे गिरा, क्यों गिरा. अब उसके बाद तब लोगों ने उस आइडिया को कैच करके कई रिसर्च हुई. व्हाट इज मेन इंपॉर्टेंट इनोवेटिव आइडियाज आर गेनिंग मोमेंटम. क्योंकि इनोवेटिव आइडियाज से फिर कई रिसर्च आगे खुल जाते हैं. हम दूर की बात नहीं करेंगे, हम अपनी गली और मोहल्ले से बात करेंगे. हमारे साथ एक बहुत ही डायनामिक पीसीएस ऑफिसर उस समय काम कर रहे थे. उन्होंने बहुत मेरी मदद की चौरास कैंपस को आज इस लेवल तक पहुंचाने में. कई लॉ एंड ऑर्डर प्रॉब्लम उनको जानते हैं. खरक सिंह रावत पीसीएस, वेरी डायनामिक पीसीएस. वो आजकल एडिशनल कमिश्नर है, हमारे शो में भी आ चुके हैं. जो मैं बताऊंगा आपने महिपाल और पवन ने मिलकर हमें क्या किया. तो उन्होंने जब स्वच्छ भारत अभियान का आइडिया कहीं था ही नहीं, उन्होंने इसको मिनी रूप में, छोटे रूप में श्रीनगर में चर्चार्थ करवाया। घर घर कूड़ा इकट्ठा करने का कॉन्सेप्ट जो श्रीनगर में है, दैट क्रेडिट गोज टू मिस्टर खड़क सिंह रावत। अपने खर्चे से उन्होंने लोगों को रिक्शा बांट के दिए, उनको प्रॉपर सैनिटाइजेशन की, उसको सैनिटाइजेशन को काम ही नहीं, सैनिटाइजेशन लोगों के दिमाग में अब बैठा जब पेंडेमिक आया। सैनिटाइजर उस समय उन्होंने दिए उन लोगों को जो बेचारे ये घर घर कूड़ा इकट्ठे जा रहे थे, उनको दस्ताने दिए, उनको जो है एक प्रॉपर यूनिफॉर्म प्रोटेक्टिव गियर दिया। देखो प्रोटेक्टिव गियर अब आया, तो वो सिविल सर्विस ऑफिसर जनरली क्या होता है, नौकरी लग गई, अच्छा पैसा तनख्वाह मिल रहे हैं, रुतबा है, सब कुछ है, मैं चुपचाप बैठ जाऊं। नो, इट इज नॉट लाइक दैट। इवन आफ्टर रिटायरमेंट मैं अभी चुप नहीं बैठा हूं। आई हैव गॉट सो मेनी इनोवेटिव आइडियाज व्हिच आर गेटिंग इम्प्लीमेंटेड। और उसको बारे में बात करेंगे क्योंकि आवर्स टुगेदर। आज तो खाली मैं 2 ही की बात, 3 ही की बात में बात करूंगा, मैं बात करूंगा उसके बारे में, ठीक है। अभी भी यूनिवर्सिटी में आपको पता ही मेरे कितने चेले वहां जो है, एक राहुल गौड़ा MGA में कैसे कैसे काम, रोटरी क्लब हमने दो रोटरी क्लब खुलवा दिए हमने। श्रीनगर का रोटरी क्लब पहले शुरू किया था। अब हमने कहा कि एक आइडिया है दिमाग में, यार ये रूरल एरिया में जो रोटरी एक्सटेंड नहीं हो रहा है, हमने मलेथा जो रूरल एरिया है उसमें एक रोटरी क्लब खुलवा दिया जिसके उद्घाटन 30 तारीख को। व्हाई वी डिड इट लाइक दैट? बिकॉज आइडिया केम इन आवर माइंड। आप समझ रहे हैं? तो ये जो आइडिया जनरेशन की है, तो एक मैंने एग्जांपल दी दिया आपको अटक सिंह। ऐसे कई एग्जांपल्स हैं, तो उनको बुला के या उनको ये वर्चुअल मोड में उनको अपने इंटर्न्स के सामने रखे, they will share their stories how they did it. Whenever any idea comes into somebody's mind, it does not mean that everybody will accept that idea. शुरू में उसका बहुत विरोध हुआ, अरे यार कहाँ ये क्या बेकार प्रोडक्ट बातें, पूरा ये चिल्ला के चल रहे हैं कि कूड़ा दो। Atul, don't think that if you are doing good work, everybody will clap for you. And it is good that as much as criticism you pocket, as much as strengthening or you as much as cemented you become. तभी पता लगता है कि what is the wrong, what is the problem in my working or in my functioning. So encourage the people to come यार, बोलो उनको कि मेरे बारे में कुछ ऐसा बोलो क्या जिससे मुझे लगा कि काम गलती हो रही है, ठीक है। आज तो बहुत कम टाइम है, कभी आप बुलाएंगे तो आई गॉट लॉट ऑफ आइडियाज। मैं आपको आई विल गिव यू एटलीस्ट 30 आइडियाज व्हिच यू कैन कन्वर्ट इट इनटू प्रैक्टिस एंड द वाई आपको मिलेगी। क्योंकि अब मैं नॉट ओनली मी, माय आइडिया इज दैट, अगेन मैं अपनी आइडिया की बात करूं, माय आइडिया इज दैट whosoever is associated with me as my student, as my near and dear, as my associate, I must see that they must go beyond my status. They must cross my status. ठीक है? And you all know better that what is my style of functioning and what is my ideology. अगर मैं लोगों के सुनता, जितनी मैंने एज ए डायरेक्टर 14 कैंपस सुनी है वहां, और जितना बुलडोजिंग मेरे साथ हुआ है, तो शायद कोई ऑर्डिनरी आदमी होता तो कब का भाग चुका होता, 2 साल बाद, 3 साल बाद। बट बिकॉज ऑफ माई एसोसिएट लाइक अतुल ध्यानी बधानी, 2 मेरे पास हीरे थे वहां। ये कभी फुर्सत में बताएंगे कि ये हीरो ने मेरे साथ क्या काम किया। तो इन जैसे कई बच्चे मेरे से जुड़ते गए एंड टुडे आई एम रिकॉग्नाइज्ड थ्रूआउट द वर्ल्ड एज ए मैनेजमेंट गुरु। जब भी मेरा इंट्रोडक्शन होता है, मेरे बारे में बोला जाता है एक्स सिविल सर्विस ऑफिसर टर्न्ड मैनेजमेंट गुरु। तो मैं तो ना विद्वान हूं, ना मैं PhD हूं, ना मैं ज्यादा फर्स्ट क्लास हूं, ना कुछ हूं, आई एम जस्ट ए ऑर्डिनरी पर्सन। So that is the idea of innovation, that you get converted into a ordinary ideaful person into reality and project it before the society that these are the ideas which can be done. आप देखिए माइक्रोसॉफ्ट क्या करता है, माइक्रोसॉफ्ट कोई मैन्युफैक्चरिंग नहीं करता है। आप ये जो ओला एंड उबर है, ये क्या करते हैं, इनका कंप्यूटर बेस्ड सॉफ्टवेयर बेस्ड पैसा कमा रहे हैं। What they did that transportation में इन्होंने ये किया, creativity was necessary in producing the concept of ride sharing and making driving job accessible to any individual. ड्राइवरों का, गाड़ियों का डाटा है उनके पास, और उन लोगों का डाटा बैंक है जिनको गाड़ी चाहिए होती, तो दे लिंक इट। सी दिस आइडिया। कई एग्जाम्पल है, अमेजन है, कई चीजें हैं, ठीक है। और ये भी ख्याल रखना कि आइडियाज में फेल आल्सो। इफ इट फेल्स डोंट बॉदर, गो फॉर द न्यू आइडिया। सबसे बड़ा जो धक्का लगा था गूगल को, वो गूगल ग्लास का उन्होंने आइडिया किया था। गूगल ग्लास करके कि सब आपको आंखों के सामने सब आपके उसमें दिखाई देंगे, उससे लोगों को किसी को हेडेक होने से हुआ, किसी बीमारी होने से हुई, दे ड्रॉप द आइडिया। So at the introduction, it was a very unique and new idea. ठीक है? Invention is the physical creation of a new concept or idea. जब आप आइडिया जनरेट करते हैं, इनोवेशन सेल जैसे लोगों के साथ जुड़ के उस आइडिया को एक्सप्लोर करने की कोशिश करते हैं, then the result is invention. इसको कहते हैं खोज। अनुसंधान नहीं, अनुसंधान तो रिसर्च हो जाएगा, उसको कहते हैं खोज। ठीक है? The creation of an idea to do or make something without verification that it works. अब देखो आइडिया गलत भी होते हैं। एक आइडिया मैं बता दूं जिसने दुनिया में तहलका मचा रखा है, that is the idea of tool kit. टूल किट आते ही एकदम बुद्धिजीवी है, उनके दिमाग में एक झुरझुरी सी फैल जाती है, एक बदन में आग लग जाती है कि who is this bastard, who is this wrongdoer that created tool kit. मैं तो गाली देता हूँ उसको, किसने टूल। देखो टूल किट का कितना बदनाम हो रहा है, बिकॉज नॉलेज, इन्वेंशन, इनोवेशन हैव गॉट 3 डायमेंशन। ख्याल रखना, इट कैन बी यूज्ड, इट कैन बी मिसयूज्ड, इट कैन बी अब्यूज्ड। इसका उपयोग होगा, इसका अनुपयोग होगा, इसका दुरुपयोग होगा। तो आपके चेले चपाटे जो भी आपके इनोवेशन सेल से निकलेंगे, उनको ये 3 सरमन भी देना है भैया, यूज, मिसयूज एंड अब्यूज। किसलिए आए हो? अब्यूज के लिए। वर्ल्ड में मेरे पास there are 3 inventions in my knowledge, in my diary. In the beginning they were all used and they were very much liked by the society, but ultimately when they started getting abused, those people are after that there is a कब छुटकारा मिले। one of is that WhatsApp WhatsApp पे as per my study, I may be wrong, 70% of the contents are bogus contents. जिसने वो कबाड़ा कर दिया हमारा ये वैक्सीनेशन का, अफवाह फैला दी है कि वैक्सीनेशन से लोग मर रहे हैं, because there is no system of verification. और वो लोग हैं जिनके हाथ में, जिनको मोबाइल पकड़ने की तमीज नहीं थी, जिनको मोबाइल नहीं दिया जाना चाहिए था, उनके हाथ में मोबाइल मिल गया, उनको ऐसा लगा मैं दुनिया पे सबसे, मेरे पास क्या गजब का इक्विपमेंट आ गया है। तो मैं ज्यादा ना कह के, कितना टाइम हो गया, मैं आई थिंक 20 minutes were assigned to me and it is around 20 minutes. Now I present 2 of my gems like ज्ञानी बदानी। ज्ञानी बदानी मेरे पिछले जेम्स थे जिन्होंने मेरे को यहाँ तक पहुंचाया। अब जिनको मैं आगे पहुंचा रहा हूँ, मेरे 2 जेम्स हैं, मैपाल रावत है, पवन कोटियाल है, और तीसरी ये हेमा आई है कि नहीं आई है? मैपाल
नहीं सर आई।
चलो हेमा के बारे में मैं बता देता हूँ। हेमा आपके बारे में बताएगा, फोक सिंगर है। हमने उसको एक डायमेंशन दिया है। मैंने कहा व्हाट इज नॉट प्रॉपर फ्रॉम आवर पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू फॉर यू इज दैट यू हैव नॉट बीन पब्लिसाइज्ड। यूट्यूब तक सीमित मत रहो। ये आईटी प्लेटफॉर्म आ रहा है, नेपाल और पवन हमने मिलकर प्रोग्राम किया था, लोग दंग रह गए कि आपको पहले कैसे पता चल रहा है, कैसे हो रहा है। हमारे प्रोग्राम जब होते हैं तो उसके बाद अखबारों में आ जाते हैं कि होने वाला है। वो हमारा राष्ट्र डिजिटल मार्ट जो हमने बनाया है, उसमें हम कितने प्रोग्राम हो गए मैपल? 33 प्रोग्राम हो गए हैं। और उसकी व्यूअरशिप हमने परमवीर चक्र विजेता को, जब ये सुधार मेजर यादव को हमने 15 अगस्त के दिन बुलाया, लोगों के फोन आए कि सर आपने हमको रुला दिया। जो उस आदमी ने, उस सिपाही ने कारगिल युद्ध में कितनी गोलियां झेली, कैसे उसको लाश समझते पाकिस्तानी छोड़ के गए। जब उसने नैरेटिव अपना बताया तो लोगों ने हमको किया कि सर आज हम इतना रोए। That should be the program that you cajole the people. That should be your ideas. मैंने एक प्रोग्राम किया था, ये हमने इसी राष्ट्र डिजिटल मार्ट में, हमने पुरानी परिपाटी बताए थे, गांव में प्रधान होते थे, वो प्रधान व्यवस्था खत्म होगी, लॉ एंड ऑर्डर प्रॉब्लम। हमारे प्रोग्राम के बाद डीएफओ को डायरेक्शन हुई स्टेट गवर्नमेंट से कि तुम बजाय वन पंचायत के लोगों को अपने ऑफिस में बुला के तुम उनके आ जाओ और 8-10 वन पंचायतों को लोगों से वहां मीटिंग करो दैट वी आर प्राउड ऑफ सच प्रोग्राम एंड दैट इज अवर इनोवेटिव आइडिया. मैं ज्यादा नहीं करके आपको व्हेनेवर यू फील फॉर मी आई एम ऑलवेज अवेलेबल टू यू एंड आजकल तो ये अपना लैपटॉप खोलो, अपना लिंक बनाओ, वाईफाई घर में ही जुड़ जाओ कहीं से. ठीक है. नाउ आई रिक्वेस्ट फर्स्ट पवन, यू प्रेजेंट पवन व्हाट इज योर यूनिक आइडिया व्हिच यू हैव इम्प्लीमेंटेड इन वेरी शॉर्ट टर्म. और उसके बाद महिपाल बताएगा. रास डिजिटल के बारे में मैं महिपाल बाद में बताऊंगा लास्ट में. पहले तुम अपने बारे में, तुमने जो जंगल बनाया क्या बनाया और टूरिज्म में क्या तुमने नया इनोवेटिव आइडियाज दिए वो बताओ, सो दैट पीपल शुड रियलाइज ये दो नहीं, हमारे कई चेले हैं, ये 2 चेले मेरे से जो इनोवेटिव आइडियाज कर रहे हैं आउट ऑफ द यूनिवर्सिटी. अब बताओ.
Pawan, I think you have to unmute your
माइक ऑन करो.
Hello. Hi, good morning to everybody. And thanks to inviting me on this world-class webinar, putting my idea of thinking. So it's very interesting for me to share my thoughts and ideas which have been implemented in the lab of Himalaya, place called Devprayag. My tiny village name is village Pali Malli on Dasardhanchal Parvat and district Tehri Patti Bharpur. In 2013, when Kedarnath disaster happened, so I realized that the mountains are burning. Why it's happened? I was supposed to thinking, plant, tree, mountains, because I born and brought up in the lap of Himalaya to sing a song with the nature of mighty Ganges at Devprayag. So I realized there's something wrong happening. Since we are living out here in metros, we have very limited space where we can plant the tree. Then I realized that we should go back, learn, and return to plant few trees in the memory of those who have lost their life in Kedarnath tsunami on this disaster. So I planted few trees like Kalpa Bridge, Peepal, Butt, Aam, Amrud, Amla, and many other trees. So the thinking and the ideas of my concern is that it should be incomable and scalable. Once we plant the tree to scale up, they are sort of, after a couple of years, their fruit trees give sort of earning to the livelihood of the villagers. So they have made their interest to plant these sort of trees because most of the area in the Himalayas, there is no scarcity of plants and trees. But if we plant the tree in terms of orchid, fruit trees, that would be fruitful for us in the near future as well. And once we go back with our roots, definitely it will be remarkable. This is all about happening with me. And apart from that, I've been awarded 2016 as a Environment Award, the national level award for that small walk. Now I'm working in the tourism industry. I've been exploring and innovating new travel packages in terms of farm tourism, Ayurveda tourism, village tourism, and many more. This is a little idea. But as far as the innovations is concerned, and my idea of concern is that I'll give you the sort of formula to all budding professionals, all students across the country. There are sort of 5 P's I'll give you, this interact formula. You definitely apply this formula, definitely you will reach your goals ahead. There are 5 P's called passion, problem, process, planning, and payment. If your passions working and interact with the people of villages, because 70% of our population belongs to villages, it's really need of development for the villages, for their livelihoods and sustainable developments. So we find out first the passion during our school, college level. What are the passion we have? If there is a passion in you, so you have to find out the problem, what problem I can solve through my passion. This is the proven formula. Once you connect your passion to the society problems, then you just make the plan the solution of the process. Once the process goes on with the right planning, then you will definitely get the payment. These are the 5 P's where you can indulge in, build within you. You definitely become a successful entrepreneur in the future. This is the basic formula of ideas, of concern. Your passion turn to problem to solve the problem in the society. Once you give the selflessly to the society, you will get endlessly. Because somewhere in the universe, there's the nature. कोई आपको देख रहा है, कोई आपको सुन रहा है. जब आप एनर्जी देते हैं, थॉट प्रोसेस लॉन्च करते हैं तो वो यूनिवर्स में चला जाता है. देयर आर 5 फिजिकल एलिमेंट, जल थल अग्नि आकाश. ये एलिमेंट्स हैं जो हमारे जीवन को प्रस्तुत करते हैं. तो आगे अगर मैं कहूँ तो एग्रीकल्चर, फार्म टूरिज्म, ऑर्गेनिक फार्मिंग, जैविक खेती, अगर इस पर हम ध्यान दें ये बहुत उपयोगी सिद्ध हो सकता है. एज फार द हिमालय इज कंसर्न, वी आर कॉल्ड तिमला. Anji is very much expensive fruit. It's almost 1,000 rupees per kg and very useful for the health, for the immunity booster. So once you look after around you, there's something which we can invent your process thoughts. You can earn money in the Himalaya as well, but you have to take firm decision how you make and innovate ideas to implement with the process planning and problems. So these are the basic process what I understood from my concern, from my experience, and I would like to pass this formula to my budding professional. Thank you all. Thank you, sir.
Now, इससे पहले महिपाल को आमंत्रित करें. महिपाल के सृष्टि से और पवन दोनों जुड़े हुए हैं. एक थोड़ा सा एक इनोवेटिव आइडिया जो नया हमने शुरू किया वो रास डिजिटल मार्ट, जिसमें अतुल भी आ चुका है. हमने एक सोशल मीडिया प्लेटफॉर्म पे बर्निंग इश्यूज पे, वो इश्यूज विच आर कंसर्निंग बेसिकली टू स्टेट ऑफ उत्तराखंड, तो जो उस इश्यूज से रिलेटेड स्टेक होल्डर्स हैं, वेदर एट द गवर्नमेंट साइड और विद द पब्लिक साइड, हम लोगों ने एक कोऑर्डिनेटिंग एफर्ट्स किया है ताकि उनको आपके सामने करके उन प्रॉब्लम्स के बारे में डिस्कस किया जाए और उनके बारे में पॉसिबल सॉल्यूशन जो पॉसिबल हो सके इम्प्लीमेंट करने की. तो अब नाउ आई हैंड ओवर टू महिपाल रावत to present what innovative ideas he has implemented. Pawan, thank you very much. You have explained very well. Now it is time for the Mahipal.
Thank you, sir. Since it's been 2 hours now, and to begin with, let me say it's a matter of great pleasure for me to be invited by my alma mater Hnbgu as a resource person on this another session. IIC Hnbgu. There can't be any better recognition than this. Thank you, Vice Chancellor, Professor Annapurna Nautya, Madam, Professor S.P. Singh, former Vice Chancellor, Management Group and Emeritus Professor S.P. Kala, Professor Atul Dhyani, President IIC, Professor Alok Sagar, convener, my colleague Pawan Kotia of this webinar, and all esteemed professors, friends, and inviting me to this august panel of esteemed guests. I still remember those good days in the university or in my school when we used to celebrate the Teachers' Day by enacting agile teachers and teaching junior classes with the invent of new occupations. What are the fundamentals changes required in our education systems to equip students to be well prepared for their professions? I generally follow a mantra in my personal life, which is help me grow professionally and personally. Now, I'll talk about first that how we have initiated the Raj Digital March, as Professor Kala already explained this situation. And the second is the Hnbgu Alumni Association in terms of the totality, as Mr. Professor Dhyani already knows. It's been a year now when last pandemic started in the month of May. So my colleague Pawan Kotia always he was this the session and always acting the drama and playing the basic roles at the college level and even though in now. So when we started that, I have met Pawan Kotia and I told him that Pawan, we should start some innovation or some startup. So ultimately, when we talk about the startup, we would be needing the funds, some funds or some things like that. We can arrange the infra and we can develop the product and systems. So we thought that we should call this webinar and we should invite the people from the native place and talk about our product, like the what we call when we talk about the Gadwali. So we have like in Gaon village the Mungri and the Kakadi and all. So the idea was to bring all our basic product to the international level. So then obviously we had am I clear? Audible?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so then we had one webinar and that was very fantastic, and that we have started with the village, wherein we have invited the people from the village people and the folk people. They have presented there very well. So ultimately, it was the first show, and then I had contacted the Professor S.P. Kala and Professor Bagri to help us and to support us in terms of the innovation and in terms of the how to take the next level for this innovation. So Professor Kala's the experience and their word always was the very that time was very the valuable, and he explained in a very the manner that how we have to, like, since he was the professor of the MBA. So always Pawan already explained about the 5 P's of marketing. So the place, price, product, and presentation. So he was very clear that listen, since one you're working for your state or the area, that is for the in terms of the your innovation. Second, since we already in the market and we have already experience of the 15 or 20 years. Third, we already like the professionals from the HNBGU and already in the market. So the three things always was help us in terms of that totality. And then we have started this show, and it was very fortunate. Kala sir explained about the Parak Singh Rawat as now he's the Garhwal commissioner. So when I called, for the invitee for that show, so I called him that, sir, I'm calling from the Delhi and I'm already the college in the Srinagar, and I got your number from Professor Kala, and I would like to invite you for this webinar. So he was okay. Now this is very good. Okay, Professor Kala is there. So that was the turnaround time for our webinar and our show when Garhwal Commissioner joined, and then he told me that Maipal, do one thing, there is a person, Chief Executive of Forest, I forgot the name, Chandran, Mr. Chandran. So the Chandran and Harak Singh and the Professor Kala and Professor Bagri and me and Pawan Kotial, with that time we were the part of show, and it was very fantastic. We have discussed about our village in terms of the environment, in terms of our issues, in terms of our forest population. And that time, first time had happened when the village Sarpanch had a word with the chief conservator of the forest, as Professor Kala already explained. So Ramesh Chandran, he took a very initiative way, and yes, he sorted out the basic the problem. And after that, then we have invited the Himani Karasi as a folk singer, and he joined us as the webinars the participant. But the way she explained, and we had that time we had some invented she was singing from Dehradun, and the people making the showing Jagar from the village. So and we are sitting in the 500-kilometer Delhi. So all three having the unique combination, and yes, we have taken this initiative. So that was wonderful. After that, we have invited many people from the film industry, from the bureaucracy, from the political, from the professionals, from the hotel background, and I think it's been now we have got 33 the webinars, and wherein the one webinar is the 2 hour. So if we talk about the film industry, that the one film counts around 2 to 30 hours, and I think spanning around the 10 crores or 20 crores with the first one film. And the people, audience, sometimes they have the show is the flop, sometimes show is the hit. But today I'm very proudly said that are all 33 webinars under the Professor Kala and under the Professor Bagri, the show have been hit. And even though yesterday I got a call from some professor from the Srinagar Garhwal, some lady, as already explained to Jani sir, and she is very keen interested to join our part, because she was very saying that how we are taking this initiative is very one of the best thing. So that was in terms of talking about Raj Diplomat, and that is our initiative. And me and my colleague Pawan Kotial and Himani Karasi under the Professor Kala, this is a very good initiative, and we will take to the next level. Now this is totally is the economic or the accountable the product. But yes, since it will be come to the next level, so definitely we'll be inviting the people for how we'll take this next level. In terms of the Alumni Association at IIC Hnbgu University, yes, we had invited our Vice Chancellor Inaugural at that time, and Kala sir was there. So it was that our privilege that man joined this program. So we had initiated that we should have a Alumni Association, wherein entire old people and the students, they have already done schooling from the college. They can come and they can support to the students. In terms of me, my colleague Pawan Kotial, I've done my NTM in 2001. Since then, I am always connecting with the Professor Bagri and all the faculty members that time, Dr. Gupta, Dr. Dr. Everybody from the Hnbgu film department. And we always, in terms of thinking about their training, their placement. So it was a fantastic journey. And in terms of the alumni association, we have already, 30 ex-students, they have joined our association. So in terms of the alumni or in terms of this arrangement, here are two that I had explained. And I think today I'm also speechless since the Professor Kala is there, since the Professor SP has seen as a Vice Chancellor, and Madam already explained much about the entire this show. So thank you so very much. And really, I would like to say one thing in last. The Professor Atul Dhyani and the Dr. Alok Sagar, when I met him there in Srinagar, I think it's been 2 months now. So the way, sir, you are taking this initiative, it's a fantastic. And since I'm also part of the member of this IIC cell, so it is also very privileged me. And since I'm also in this corporate world and always talking about very high about the my university that I am there in terms of alumni or in terms of the IIC, and we are doing so many innovations. So always, my corporate asking me, क्या ये सही कह रहे हो कि तुम ये सब कुछ कर रहे हो या ये होता भी है, ये सिर्फ कागजों में या सिर्फ आप दिखाते हो मेल पे सब कुछ. So thank you so very much. And really, in terms of the Shweta Verma and Dr. Shweta Verma and all the people, colleagues from the ICSM, I'm very thankful to be, being a part of this set. Thank you so very much.
Thank you, Maipal. If my words have been very harsh because I am very blunt speaker.
Yes, sir.
I speak from the core of my heart.
Yes,
अगर मैंने कोई कठिन शब्द बोल दिए हों या कोई ऐसी बात बोल दी हो जिसमें कि एकदम पटाखा सा फटा हो तो I can be pardoned.
कहते हैं एक दोहा है, गुरु गोविंद जो खड़े काके लागे पाए और बलियार गुरु अपने गोविंद जो बताए. तो कहते हैं कि सर जब गुरु कोई चीज सिखाता है तो वो हमेशा टफ होता है. कहता है जब कोई हम कॉर्पोरेट्स में आए तो प्रोफेसर बागड़ी हमारे टीचर थे. आई रिमेम्बर व्हेन आई जॉइन NTM, so it was my second class, so I was not wearing coat pant and everything, come to the class, see, stand up gentleman, get out from my class. मैंने कहा बहुत अच्छा हो गया, मैंने अपने कॉफी पकड़ी and चल दिया, get out from the class. So I think एक दो महीना हम घूमते रहे. So बारी आई ट्रेनिंग, since this is the internship, बारी आई ट्रेनिंग की. So ट्रेनिंग हमारी ट्रेनिंग होती तो उस टाइम हम लोग 5-star होटल में जाते थे और मल्टीनेशनल कंपनी में जाते थे. So people always thinking about Gadwal Mandal Vikas Nigam or nearby hotels. So my thinking was always high. So I gone to the Professor Bagri room. I told him, sir, I want to join the Ashoka Hotel, which is the 5-star hotel. Okay, very nice. I want to join the Sita World Travel. And sir told me, Maipal, yaar, tum badi baatein kar rahe ho. I think you have to arrange your own. I got a letter from the Sita World Travel that time. I think Pawan is the member here. And then I have joined Sita Travel. I have joined the Ashoka Hotel. And I was trained both the, like such a top level organization that time 20 years back. And when I had got 2 letters, and after that when I came to Delhi and gone for an interview, so I have explained why this is my NTM. I did from the HNB. I was trained from the Ashoka Hotel. I am trained from this Sita World Travel. So I got first job with the overall group of hotels that time. So that time was my communication, my confidence, everything was something very like the village people. But it was very, like innovative from my professors and my HNB that have done this. And second was the when I was always participating in sports. So me and Pawan Kotiam, we were good in terms of the studying and all. So I got the gold medal in the athletics in Choras in the long race. So I thought that Pawan explained me that I thought we should donate this medal to the Professor. So I was in the track suit and Pawan was the uniform, and I said, "May I come in?" He was giving the lecture about the Gadwal Himala. He was very surprised that the gentleman came with a class and Luigi. So I put him, sir, my name is Maipal Singh Rawat, and then Pawan started. Today there is some sports game in college and Maipal got his gold medal. So then he was happy, and then I told him, sir, I want to donate this medal to the university to you. तो कहते हैं कि यार नहीं, मेडल तो आपका अपना होता है और आपको ले जाना चाहिए. So my attitude was कि मैं सर ये रख लो आप, मैं दूसरा मेडल ना अगले साल ले आऊंगा. So that was the changing in my life. Since then I was correcting the Bagri sir and Kala sir and all my faculty members. So that is my story, sir. So now this is over to you.
बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद. बस एक 2 लाइन तुम लोगों के लिए कहनी है अतुल से लेकर उसके सारी टीम मेंबर्स को. ये भी प्रयास करें कि सोशल मीडिया के मिसयूज को कैसे हम कंट्रोल करें. हमारे देश में इतनी तबाही ये लोग मचा रहे हैं, कितना नुकसान हो रहा है कि अब हम यंग एज में होते तो काफी कुछ करते. अब जो भी हैका पैका लिखता है, मैं सोशल मीडिया से तुरंत डिलीट कर रहा हूँ. के लिए अभियान चला रखा मैंने. तो प्लीज जो भी आप मिले, जो उटपटांग लिख रहा है, जिनका कोई मतलब नहीं, देश के बारे में गलत समय लिख रहे हैं, कृपया उनको अपने लेवल पे करें. और अंत में तुम लोगों के लिए है कि अतुल से लेकर सब लोगों तक नई मंजिल बनाने को नए मंजर नहीं आते. सुन ले आलोक, सुन ले ध्यान से. अतुल ने तो कई बार मेरे सरमन सुने हुए. खासकर श्वेता है, आलोक है, तुम लोगों से भी मुलाकात नहीं हुई, जब मिलेंगे तब पता लगेगा मेरे बारे में मैं क्या हूँ, है ना? और जोशी जी जानते हैं, सब जानते हैं।
Yes, sir. I met you in Hi-Tech. I met you in Hi-Tech. Yes. Yes, sir.
तो आप सब लोगों के लिए है कि नई मंजिल बनाने को नई मंजर नहीं आते, यही जर्रे उभरते हैं, यही मिट्टी संवरती है।
बिल्कुल सही सर।
वक्त का तकाजा है, तूफान से जूझो, वक्त का तकाजा है, तूफान से जूझो, अरे यार कब तक चलोगे किनारे किनारे।
बिल्कुल सही सर।
नो श्वेता, श्वेता
मैं कुछ कहना चाहूंगा। यस यस यस, बहुत अच्छा जो है, और हम सबको मतलब प्रोफेसर एसपी काला सर की ब्लेसिंग मिल रही है और बड़ा अच्छा लग रहा है कि बहुत अच्छा माहौल है। मैं यहाँ पर एक चीज और कहना चाहूंगा कि हम लोगों ने IIC HNBGU इनोवेशन अवार्ड का जो कंसेप्ट रखा था, उसमें ये कहा गया था कि जो फैकल्टी मेंबर्स है, स्टूडेंट्स, स्कॉलर्स, किसी भी स्ट्रीम्स के हैं, वो अपने इनोवेटिव आइडिया के साथ आए और वो अपना यहाँ पे प्रेजेंटेशन दें। और उसमें मिस्टर महताब सिंह रावत सर, मिस्टर पवन कोटियाल सर, इन लोगों ने सर 3-4 घंटे तक कंटिन्यूअस असेसमेंट किया उसका, और प्रॉपर जो है उसकी काउंसलिंग हुई, और जिसमें डॉक्टर राव कुंवर सिंह सर का जो फर्स्ट प्राइज आया है, उन्होंने पेटेंट उसको अभी अप्लाई किया हुआ है। तो थैंक यू मिस्टर पवन सर, मिस्टर महिपाल सर, आप लोगों ने उस पर बहुत प्रॉपर तरीके से एवोल्यूट किया था, और विदाउट एनी बायसनेस जो है आप लोग जिस तरीके से रिजल्ट समय दिए थे, वो आज यही परिणाम रहा कि हम लोगों ने उसको पेटेंट तक लेके आए। थैंक यू सर। यस स्वतः।
Thank you. First of all, I would like to thank to Professor Kala sir for such a motivational and inspiring quote, and for sharing such a valuable suggestion on knowledge, creativity, motivation, and we will definitely address these in our program schedule of lecture. And thank you for sharing your thought-provoking ideas with your experience. Thank you, sir. And we are really pleased and delighted to have you with your presence, sir. Thank you so much for joining. I would also like to thank Mr. Pawan Kumar for addressing and highlighting us about the P5 formula. That is really interesting. That pay our attention to focus on the various other dimension and problem and challenges of it. And at last, I would also like to thank Mr. Mahipal Singh Rawat sir for sharing your ideas and experiences. Our participants will definitely benefit out of it. It's really a very wonderful interaction with you all respected members and speakers. Thank you all for joining us. Now with this, bring us to the end of our lecture series, and I invite Dr. Sudhir Kumar Chaturvedi sir, a member of IIC Hnbgu, for vote of thanks.
Thank you, Dr. Sweta. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Please continue.
Good morning, one and all. It is my privilege to have been asked to propose a vote of thanks of today's inaugural session of the 8-week summer internship online program. I, Dr. Sudhir Kumar Chaturvedi, Assistant Professor, Department of Law, HNB Garhwal, Central University, Uttarakhand, member IIC, coordinator of the program and organizing committee, extend a very hearty vote of thanks to the honorable delegates who blessed us with their presence and took out valuable time of your busy schedule. I sincere thanks to our respected special guest and speakers, Professor S.P. Kala sir, for enlightening us about good talk on innovation and ideas. Sir has explained many things regarding innovation and ideas like motivation, knowledge, creative thinking, with many examples. Thank you very much, sir. And sir has rightly said one quotation like नए मंजिल बनाने को नए मंजर नहीं आते। तो मुझे भी सर के लिए एक बात कहानी है जो मेरे तरफ से है कि सर आप IIC प्रोग्राम में आए, बहुत अच्छा लगा कि हर गली अच्छी लगी, हर एक घर अच्छा लगा, हर गली अच्छी लगी, हर एक घर अच्छा लगा, वो जो आए शहर में तो शहर भर अच्छा लगा। तो हम लोगों को भी बहुत अच्छा लगा आप इस प्रोग्राम में आए और अपने आइडियाज को, अपने इनोवेशन को अलग अलग एस्पेक्ट से आपने बताया।
So participants will be benefited with your ideas. Thank you very much, sir. And I am very much thankful to our esteemed guest, Sri Pawan Kotiyal sir, and Mahipal Singh Negi sir, Mahipal Singh Rawat sir, for share his view with various examples regarding innovation ideas. And thank you very much, sir. I also thanks to all respected supervisors, Professor Veena Joshi ma'am, Professor R.S. Negi sir, Professor Manju Pandey ma'am, and all esteemed supervisors who came forward with great enthusiasm in this program. And I also thanks to all the participants who shown interest and have registered in this online internship programs from different parts of the country. I feel honored to President IIC Professor Atul Dhyani sir for your constant support and guidance for this program. I congratulate Dr. Alok Sagar Gautam, the most active members and convener of the IIC, that he made a lot of effort to make this program successful. I also congratulate Dr. Sweta Verma, moderator of the today's program, who has completed this program in a very good way. As no program can become successful with a single person, so I extend my big thanks to organizing committee members, Dr. Alok Sagar Gautam, Dr. Sweta, Dr. Vinit Kumar Maurya, Surendra Bera, Aksita, and student committee members Nikhil, Ansul Devli, Sandeep Singh Rawat, Veer Pratap. A great job has been done by them. With these words, on behalf of ICC, I would like to conclude the today's session by wishing a very good day to everyone. Stay at home and be healthy. Thanks to all. Now over to Dr. Sweta.
Thank you so much, sir, for this kind vote of thanks. Now,
एक बार सब लोग जितने भी ऑनलाइन है, अगर वीडियो ऑन कर लेंगे तो थोड़ा अच्छा रहेगा. स्टूडेंट सारे जो बिहाइंड द कर्टेन हमेशा लगे हुए हैं. अंशुल देवली, निखिल कहाँ है आप? सुबह 8 बजे से आप लगे हुए हैं. सुरेंद्र बेरा, आप लेट नाइट इन्होंने 2 बजे तक वो जो वीडियो है वो एडिट की है.
डॉक्टर आलोक, एक चीज मैं कहना चाहूंगा कि ये भी एक इनोवेशन होगा. जो लोगों के फोटो दिख रहे हैं, यही फोटो कल सुबह अखबार पेपर में आनी चाहिए, तो फिर अगली बार से बहुत सारे लोग आएंगे.
सर मैंने दिया है. Thank you. Please. Yes, ma'am, please.
Now, with the permission of President IIC Hnbgu, Professor Atul Dhyani sir, I declare the session closed. So, with the permission of IIC President sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you all for joining us.
इसके वीडियो भेज देना, वीडियो हम लोगों को.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Recording है सर, हम इसको भी प्रोवाइड कराएंगे सर वीडियो. ठीक. Yes, sir.
And now, thank you all for joining us. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bye. Stay safe.
प्रणाम सर, प्रणाम.